Hi folks, Donnie D here again. Um, any of you folks out there that have made any of my homemade shoot and see type targets, whether they be the kind where you use the index cards or colored poster board using the clear packing tape and spraying them with the black paint or the colored paint, or whether you use the excuse me, whether you use the cardboard covering it with the yellow or brightly colored duct tape and then spraying it with black, or even the newest thing that I showed you the other day, which is uh, the self-healing shooting seeds using those foam rubbery kneeling pads or whatever you can come up with that'll work like that, covering that with the yellow tape and spraying it black. They're great targets. They work great, especially the last ones. They really flash. When you hear me say the word flash, what I'm talking about is when you shoot the target, it leaves a nice impression, like a shoot and see target does, that you can see from a distance. That's what I call flash. When you hear me say flash, that's what I'm talking about. Well, we all want, would like to have the nice target up there, but you also want a bullseye. And the other day, I don't know if you saw my video, I noticed it in the video, I showed you a way to make bullseyes that will also flash. In other words, you can go to the store, and I use a lot of these. I'm not putting these things down, and I'm not putting down the store-bought shooting seeds. They're great. I still use them a lot, but I use my homemade version. But you can go out and get these guys, these little stick-on orange bullseyes, and stick them on targets. But only problem with them is they do not flash. They're just paper, colored paper, and when you shoot them, it just leaves a hole. And if you're shooting at any distance of, say, more than, say, 25 or 30 yards, if you're right there at 1 or 200 yards, even with a pretty good spotting scope, if you hit the shoot and see type target I make, where it flashes off into black, you can see it pretty good. But if you hit the bullseye or somewhere in here, it's pretty hard to see if you've hit the bullseye. You shoot it and hit it, and you're saying, well, did I hit the bullseye or did I completely miss the target? What's the deal? Well, I want to show you how to make bullseyes, homemade bullseyes, that you can put on your targets, and they will flash as well. And it's very simple. The first method that I came up with, I was trying to come up with a way that I could take the yellow duct tape and cut squares of it so that I could paint it a color so that it would flash through that color. And the way I came up with first was just take this wax paper you see here and lightly stick, and I went over this a little bit on one of the videos, but it was kind of stuck in the middle of the video, so some of you may not have noticed it. But this is the way you can make bullseyes for your homemade shooting seeds, regardless of which type it is. Get a piece of wax paper, lightly stick some of the yellow or brightly colored duct tape to it. Don't push it down too hard. Spray paint it. I use red. That it contrasts with the black background, but it also flash yellow when you shoot it. And you'll have a flashing bullseye. So you'll be able to see when you hit the bullseye just like you can see when you hit the rest of the target. But tonight I was sitting there thinking, the only problem with this is sometimes when you try to peel these off, these are doing pretty good, but it can pull the wax paper still. And it's a little bit difficult to get them off. They work. But I was sitting here tonight and I looked over on one of my workbenches, and what did I see? I see this piece of plastic. Now what this is, we all get these. Go to Walmart or somewhere and buy something. Seems like everything comes in these hard plastic cases with the form, that's formed around the item. This actually is the one that my CMMG 22 conversion kit for my AR-15 came in. That's where the bolt assembly went, and this is where the magazine that comes with it goes. And I kept it in this thing for a good while, and I've now made me something to keep it in that's different from this, and I just toss this up on the counter. Well, the back side of it is nice and flat. It's nice plastic, nice and flat, and lo and behold, it hit me. I said, well, this is great. You can stick the yellow duct tape to it, and it peels off really easy. And you can even put it back on in, peel it off again later if you need to. I haven't painted this red yet because I know it's going to work, but all you got to do is cut you some squares of the yellow duct tape Next time you go to the store, make sure you don't throw away that plastic that everything comes in there. Save some of it. Stick the little squares of yellow duct tape to it. Spray paint it red or whatever color you want. I go with red so it'll contrast with the black. Let it dry. Then the next time you shoot your ShootNC up and you're getting ready to refresh the front of it, take the ShootNC target that you've made, wipe it over with a piece of dry paper towel to get the loose paint off, spray paint it black, let it dry, then take some of these target dots or bullseyes that you've made, flash bullseyes, peel them off and stick them on there. Now you've got a ShootNC target homemade that not only flashes on the black background, but when you hit the bullseye and you're right at 200 yards, you can see it just as good as you can the rest of it. Now I'm going to tell you what, once again, you got to admit that this is just as slick as eel snot. You know what I'm saying? Alright, but that's an easy way for you to make cheap, because this is free. All you got to have again is duct tape and paint, and now you can make even better ShootNC, self-healing, or whatever kind you want to make, whichever version you prefer to make. ShootNC targets with flashing bullseyes. So anyway, very easy to do. Have at it. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it'll save you some money, because after all, every penny we can save on targets, we can spend on ammo and guns. And that's got to be a good thing, ain't it? Alright, this is Donnie D, and I'll see you on the next go-round. Thank you now. Bye.